it is. It's your boy Gedden, and I'm back with another good morning drive. Feeling good this morning. Today we're gonna speak about Puffy is a nasty ass dude. Yeah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna touch on that. We're gonna touch on it. We ain't gonna go through full details because just nasty guy. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about game key cards, how that's gonna help out the Nintendo Switch 2, despite all the hate. And hold up. Okay. And we're going to talk about, you know, I forgot my main topic. Oh, I am terrible at this. Still terrible. We're on episode 65. And yeah, what was that? Yeah, I'm mad. I forgot the main topic. Jeez. Jeez. I dropped my son off and we out here and it totally slipped my mind. You know, the crazy thing about that is my short term memory as of late, it's always been kind of on and off, but as of late, it's just been terrible. Just been terrible. I can't believe I shouldn't have started the live. But anyway, but we out here and we're gonna do what we do. We can always talk about the Knicks, the Giants schedule. Oh yeah, I think I was gonna talk about a little bit about the Giants schedule and these commentators of the football Giants, New York Football Giants, my team. Man, do they always get it wrong, and they're always hyper confident about getting it wrong. But yeah, Jesus Christ, I'm glad I remembered that just now. But yeah, you know why maybe I forgot, because I looked at the schedule. I did half the games, and that's what we're going to talk about. Half the games, and how these commentators are just way off. They're always way off. Anyway, but before we do that, good morning to you guys. Hopefully, you guys have a wonderful morning. If you catch this on the rebroadcast or you watching live, good morning to you guys. I hope you guys have a great one. Hopefully, you had a awesome weekend. I had a pretty good weekend. Wasn't too bad. And you know, the weather is turning up. It was a little cool though, but hey, I like spring and summer. That's my favorite times of the year. I like the heat. I like what the heat brings out. You know, the sun gives me way more energy. I don't know if y'all feel that, but yeah, gotta love it. Gotta love being alive and breathing. You know, that's what basically the whole show is about. It's just trying to be as positive as you can. And you know, it's weird, right? As soon as I pass this one area where I always have connection issues, today there's no connection issues. Isn't that just odd? The glare on my screen is ridiculous. Jeez. Good morning to everyone out there. I got 7 people in here. If you're not here, I just want to wish you guys a good morning, a blessed day, an awesome week. Find positivity in everything that you do, and you know, throughout your life, and you'll find that more positive things happen for you. But good morning to everyone in here. Um, Hopefully, you guys can leave a like, a comment, a share, a subscription. You know, all that. You know, a like is free. A a sub is free. It don't cost anybody anything. But yeah, so let's quickly talk about the Giants' schedule. I believe we got the Cowboys week 2, Washington Commanders game 1, not week 2, but game 2. We got the Chiefs, we got the Eagles, and I think the Steelers. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But them's is looking like L's, besides maybe the Commanders game. For whatever reason, no matter how good the Commanders get, it just seems like the Giants always squeak out a win or a very, very close game. But yeah, we normally beat up on the Commanders. And the fact that I think their defense didn't necessarily get much better. Um, I think that you know, with a team that has a new quarterback, a upgrade at quarterback within my Giants, I think that we're going to be much better going forward. But much better, is it going to equal a whole bunch of wins? some of these Giants commentators, the big channels, they seem to think so, and they always thinks so, right? No matter how bad or good the team has stunk for 8 to more years, right? My Giants have been terrible. Why not just be? You can be optimistic, but be realistic. You got some of these people because Vegas got us only winning like 4 games this season, right? 4 or 5 games this season, and I think that's accurate. I think that's accurate. We're not that much better of a team. Our offensive line needs to be way more dominant, and we are kind of middle of the pack. All our quarterbacks got issues, right? Russell Wilson, I hear, doesn't like throwing in the middle of the field, right? But he does throw a deep ball. So um, that's good. But he's an older quarterback, right? He's nowhere near as elusive as he used to be. Though I did see, highlights where he actually is rather elusive. So yeah, you just want to keep it real with your teams. Keep it real with you. I'm keeping it real with my team. I have very low expectations. I just hope to see some kind of improvement. Hopefully, we do not see um, Jackson or Jackson Dart. Hopefully, we don't see him at all. Uh, because if we do see him early, that means our that was a jerk thing to do. Our team, our game, we've lost all our games basically. We're like 1-4 or something like that, and we might as well just throw the rookie quarterback out there so that he can you know get some experience and get his lumps. One thing about Jackson Dart that I noticed, so we all know that the NFL skipped on Shador Sanders. Shador got drafted 5th round to the Cleveland Browns, a terrible organization, historically a terrible organization. So he got drafted there. I don't expect much out of Shador, right? Not that he's not talented, he's very talented, but it's just the organization. I just don't expect much out of the organization. They took him in the 5th round because they were told to, allegedly, in my opinion, also. They were told to draft him because they just drafted a quarterback. How do you take 2 quarterbacks back to back? That makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense. You draft one quarterback because you believe in that quarterback to a certain extent, so you don't draft another one just to draft him. So somebody told the GM to draft Shador, and he was visibly upset that he drafted Shador. But great player. I think he's going to be a really good player. With the Browns, I don't know. That's almost like every quarterback that has gone to the Browns have not really succeeded. So if Shador does succeed with the Browns, that just shows how great he is now. Going around full circle to Jackson Dart, um, the Giants could have drafted him. Shador, I mean. They could have did the whole trade thing to get back into the 1st round to draft Shador Sanders. Yeah, they could have done that. So I'm telling you, Shador will probably start for the Browns. He should beat out Flacco. He's already beating out Higgins, I think his name is, the other quarterback that the Browns drafted. In my opinion, he's beating him out. He didn't throw an interception yet. Higgins threw an interception already on 7-on-7 drills. 7-on-7 drills, and you're throwing interceptions. That's not a good look. Mind you, Shador sits in the pocket, gets rocked, and still throws pretty accurate passes. He's not the perfect quarterback. No quarterback is perfect. But to me, his game style fits more with the Giants because the Giants historically do not go with offensive linemen. They don't put any money in offensive linemen. So uh, it would seem as though they would pick somebody who could sit in the pocket, throw the ball while getting pressured. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All I know is Abdul Carter, which I did not agree with that draft pick for the Giants. Not that he's a bad or a good player. I think he's going to be a phenomenal player, but only on certain defenses. Uh, we drafted him, and we drafted Dart in the 1st round when we could have just drafted Shador, sitting right there. Somebody, these two players better have a better season than Shador. That's all I know. That's all I know. All right. So yeah, but these commentators are like, "Yo, the Giants. I don't believe the disrespect that the odds are giving us. I think we're gonna um, win way more games than what they're giving us, and they normally don't. They normally don't. So don't put your money on what these guys are saying on YouTube, right? I have a lot of respect for some of these guys, but the overly optimistic, I want to be part of the organization guys, yeah, I don't have much respect for them. I just don't. I just don't. But anyway, moving on to Puffy is a dirty guy. Oh my God. I know my show mostly is about positivity and God dang, Puffy is a dirty, dirty dog. Cassie is also a dirty, dirty female dog. I ain't gonna say, I ain't gonna say that crazy, but yeah, Puffy, Puffy, Puffy. God dang. You know the thing about Sean P Diddy Combs, I never liked that guy. I never liked him. Of course, you know, they claim that he found Biggie, and him and Biggie were like closely knit, maybe too closely. You look at some of these videos, and certain things start to make sense. But I never liked Puff. I never liked him. Never ever. And I'm from New Jersey. He's in New York. You know, we got an East Coast thing going, but I just never liked Puff. I never liked him. I could never really put my finger on it. But now I have a real reason, multiple reasons not to like dude. He's abusive, manipulative, all that. Predator, all those things. I don't know if we can get into too many details because I only got but so much time. But Puff is woof. So him and Cassie, he started dating Cassie, what, 19? While he was like 38, 35, something like this. All this stuff is alleged, right? Because may not have the proper facts, and you know, the trial of the century is going on right now. Dirty guy. Anyway, so he introduces her to a whole lot. And I believe, you know, Cassie was okay with the majority of what Puff was introducing to her, including the swinging, including the golden showers, all those nasty, nasty things, right? Puff was hiring male escorts to entertain them, per se. And I'm like, dog, y'all are wild. Y'all are wild. And I believe that she was down with it. She didn't have that much of a problem with it because Puff had the stature and lifestyle that someone like Cassie, whom isn't exactly the most talented person out there. She had one or two songs, and that's it. You know, I don't know what her work ethic was, but you know, I know that she was signed to a record deal that was supposed to produce what 10 albums or 8 albums or some crazy number, and we got one album, some mixtapes, I guess, because that's what they discover in text messages, that she was working on mixtapes, and that's it. So not only she was bound by Puff by in a relationship, but she was also bound by Puff within a record deal. So it's not like she could just run off and start making music with other people. That wasn't going to happen. For sure, that wasn't going to happen, and we know that wasn't going to happen because Danny DeCane star Dawn Richards, which I always thought she was fine. I always thought she had talent. I loved her look, and you know, the type of music that was part of Danny DeCane. You know, I'm not necessarily a producer. I just make beats, but I do love music. So I have an eclectic ear for music. One moment I can listen to rock, next moment I'm listening to Wu-Tang, you know, or whatever the case is. But anyway, it was all types of entrapment with Dawn Richards, and Puff, and the other group member of Dirty Money. Puff tried to break her mental down because she was she believed in herself too much, So Puff tried to break her down mentally to build her back up to be basically his other Cassie. Allegedly, all this is alleged. Puff was groping her when she didn't want it, giving her all types of SA. You know what SA means. So like it was one studio session led to Dawn Richards to be locked in a car where she could not get out of because it had no doorknobs to get out, and she was locked in there for hours until her father came to get her. Yeah, her father came to get her because she had a cell phone. She made a call. Puff is a monster, and I think I think Puff probably needs to go to jail for the rest of his life. I never liked Puff though, and I don't be believing these people that are saying Puff ain't do nothing crazy. Puff ain't do nothing. Puff was raping people. And I say people. I'm not saying just women. People. Cassie, he raped her too, you know? So once you beat somebody up and force them in any kind of sexual activity, that's rape. That's by law rape. That's not my opinion. But yeah, Puff need to go. He got to go. He been needed to go, but he definitely got to go now for sure. Definitely got to go. Ugh. Anyway, switching subjects, back on sports. Um, Knicks are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, they beat up on them Celtics. I had it completely wrong. It was almost the Celtics that got swept. Hey, yo, New York people crazy. I hear them and see them all on social media, as I think a lot of you guys do, talking crazy on the streets. They're talking crazy, saying S my D, Jason Tatum. Like, come on, dog. He got hurt, and you still talking mess about him. You can't take it serious. These guys are crazy. They just having fun, saying outrageous things. But yeah, I can't believe the Knicks beat the Celtics and beat them the way that they did, convincing fashion. Maybe they were playing it loose out into the during the season. And now the season, I've seen the defense just pick it up completely in the playoffs. That's crazy. So I'm wondering, next we got to play them Pacers. And the Knicks and the Pacers got history, real history. So that's going to be a tough series. I'm gonna ride with my boys. I cannot disrespect the Knicks any longer. I'm riding with the Knicks all the way, and watch me lay stinkers. But I'm riding with the Knicks all the way because I doubted them against Boston. They showed out. They played better, much better defense. I thought the Knicks defense was cooked. I thought the Knicks defense was cooked, but they stepped out. Everybody stepped up. And Brunson, from the start of the game, was on fire. And that game, what, 6? Beat him down. What? God dang. That was beautiful. A beautiful dismantling. That was great. So let's do the same thing to the Pacers. Let's get to the NBA Finals. Let's go. Let's go. Woo! For real, Knicks. I'm very proud of the Knicks. Very proud of the coaching, too, because people were calling for Tibbs' head. But it's all working out. Nobody's hurt. Knock on wood. Everybody's healthy. We made it, and let's go. All right. Enough with them. Enough with the Knicks. Last subject. The Nintendo Switch 2. I believe everybody's going to be happy eventually about these game key cards. A lot of controversy about the game key cards, which are cartridges that are going to need an internet connection to download the rest of a game. Because a lot of these games are huge in memory, take up so much storage, these games. We're talking, is that a roach on this person's car? Oh, say it ain't so. That looked like a roach on this person's car. That's, ugh. Anyway, sorry about that. I got sidetracked. These game key cards, people will be like, yes, thank you, eventually. The reason why I say that is because all these third-party games are huge, take up a lot of storage. Those game cards, Nintendo and manufacturers or publishers don't want to pay extra money for these cartridges over 64 gigs. Most games are over 64 gigs. Most games are over, 30, 40 gigs. So a lot of these big third-party games like Grand Theft Auto, like Final Fantasy Remake, like whatever other games, Cyberpunk, you name it, even after consolidating the storage, Nintendo is going. These carts need more storage, so it only makes sense that these cards activate some online connection to download the rest of these games, so that you could put them on your storage. You could buy a micro SD for damn near pennies. You could get a 300 gig or more card for probably like $40 or $50. Um, don't don't guesstimate me on that. Don't take my word for it. Look it up yourself. I'm thinking about getting a Tera micro SD card or 2 Tera if it's available under a certain price, you know. So I don't have to worry about ever getting another micro SD card, you know. But yeah, um, that's why these game key cards exist. That's what I believe. I believe Nintendo Switch 2 is going to get a ton of third-party games, and some third-party games are going to surprise the hell out of a lot of people. We might be getting Grand Theft Auto 6. Maybe that's why it was delayed. That's what a lot of my speculation leads me to. That's why Grand Theft Auto was delayed, because they're gonna try to put it on that Switch. But yeah, so that basically wraps up the show. If anybody has any questions or want to talk about anything else, please hit me up in the comment section. It was a quiet live this morning, quiet Monday, you know. Um, Again, my weekend was good. Took the little guy on Sunday to the pool. I used to teach swim lessons, so of course I'm going to teach my son how to swim, and that's what we've been doing for the last 2 or 3 weekends. Take him out there on Sunday, be an hour and a half or a little bit more in the pool. We're playing. I'm teaching while we're playing. You know, my son, he seems like he acts like he's a little afraid of the water, but then all of a sudden, once he gets a little used to it, he wants to do crazy stuff. So he got a little bit of me in him, because of course I'm not afraid of water. I love the water. The water is like my second home. And a bit like his mom. His mom is afraid of the water. She still don't know how to swim. And I've seen her swim, but I never knew she had a phobia of the water. If I would have known that, I would have definitely helped out way sooner. But yeah, so I'm gonna have a long day today. Your boy is working from the morning all the way till night, and I still may go to the gym later because I gotta get my workout on. So much respect, and I appreciate everybody for coming through and listening to the live. Please hit the like on your way in, hit the like on your way out, subscribe. If it's the first time to the channel, your boy got all types of content coming at you. I don't know how many videos I'm going to have for this week. Maybe I'll go back on old videos and make some shorts. But yeah, I got a video that I'm going to try to drop tomorrow. Hopefully I have enough time to record everything tonight, get it right with everything, every bit and piece, and have it released. But I think I'm going to be very busy today. No way I'm going to be able to work on anything at work. But yeah, your boy just got to work. Hope you guys have a great day. I'm about to end the show. Real quiet in the comment section today. So y'all have a great one, and thank you for viewing. As always, we out of here. Puff is a nasty dude.